Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't know if you remember, but I do remember when the Americans gave the Germans the green light to send Patriot systems, air defense systems, to Ukraine. And that was at the beginning of this year, and supposedly they were delivered. Eventually, they had them by May 2023. And they defended Kiev and even destroyed some Kinzals, according to them, and then they shut the hell up because it seems like one of the batteries was blown up, or the only battery. I remember that video posted on social media by that Ukrainian woman, and she was then apprehended by the secret police, Ukrainian secret police, indicted, charged, convicted, and she's on probation at home house arrest for about 5 or 6 years in Kiev. Why? Because you can deduct out of the video that the Patriot system that was shooting was blown up. And the guys, if you remember, the Ukrainians said, oh no, it was just a little scratch. The Americans came and checked it, and it was just a clean, good to go. Blah, blah, blah. Now, so in about those times, at the beginning of the year, when there was this discussion of delivering Patriot systems, former U.S. Army Colonel Doug McGregor stated that you need about 6 months to train a group of personnel. About 80 people needed to be trained to operate one group of Patriot system batteries. The whole group needs about 80 people, he said. You need about 6 months. Now, 6 months. Obviously, these guys said, and I don't believe it. Why I don't believe it, I will tell you during this video. They said that the Ukrainians were trained and the battery in Kiev was operated by the Ukrainians. I do not believe that. I don't know, I don't believe it. As I don't believe that the F-16s will be operated by the Ukrainians, or that even the Leopard tanks will probably be operated by the Ukrainians, or Abrams 1 tanks. One article that I found in the past was coming from the Russians, which, reservation right here, as a reservation with any media outlet, said that, according to them, that one of these Leopard tanks was blown up, and when the Russians opened whatever, over there it was one German soldier who said that the entire crew was German. And then, guess what? Surprise, surprise, he died. Well, okay. So I don't discard that as well, because you don't give some country, and there's some country, Leopard tanks or F-16s just because. They can go and land in Russia with an airplane, as that pilot who died about 3 days ago, actually, being 74 or 75. Remember, in 1974, was it? He landed in Japan. It was a Sukhoi 25 or 24. No, a MiG 24, 25, I think it was Interceptor or something, remember? And the Americans looked at it and sent it back to Soviet Union after they got everything out of it. So they're afraid of doing that with F-16, even though I think F-16s are already known. I mean, they've been, 50 years or more, almost around 15 years, from 1970 something. So anyway, what's going on right now? Supposedly, Ukraine will receive more Patriot systems from Germany, not from the United States of America, from Germany. And guess what? We find out that some soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, completed the course, the training for Patriot systems. And about 70 of them for, I will tell you how many weeks, the training, because they're special. And I will talk about that too. So let's go to the first article, which comes from the Ukraine Forum, but it's from MENA FN. Second group of Ukrainian soldiers undergoes training on Patriot systems in Germany. So this is from the 2nd of December 2023. If I make it big, this is going to make a lot of crap left and right, so that's why I don't make it. So Ukraine Forum right here. Berlin has announced that 70 more members of the Ukrainian armed forces have undergone training in how to operate the Patriot air system defense. That's according to Deutsche Welle, which refers to the German Armed Forces Bundeswehr. Ukraine Forum's reports. Lieutenant General Andreas Marlow, commander of the Multinational Special Training Command, see, it does this garbage, Announced on Friday, December 1st. I'm going to make like this. December 1st, the completion of the training course for about 70 soldiers and officers from Ukraine. The training course lasted more than 6 weeks. How much is 6 weeks? I know 4 weeks is a month. 6 weeks is a month and a half. Not 6 months, a month and a half. So that's the first one. The second article is from Ukrainska Pravda. It's from today, the 2nd of December 2023. Second group of Ukrainians completes training on Patriot systems in Germany. Very good. And the same, let's see. 70 soldiers, all right. They tell how long it takes. No, oh, right, it's 6 weeks. More than 6 weeks. Why no more than 7 weeks? So probably 6 weeks and 2 days. So still a month and a half. Now, let's talk about it. We have our mental and physical limitations. As good as we are, a genius has a limitation further down the road. People like us, maybe have a little bit, we reset our brains earlier. The same with the body. There is a limit between how much can a brain teach a body. That's a limit. You can't force it. You need time for the brain and the body to harmonize. So let's say it's like, I don't know if you've been into bodybuilding or if you work with weights. Let's say if you work, it doesn't work this way. I'm going to do 3 repetitions, let's say for biceps. 3 repetitions with the bar, or if you want with the weights, however we want. 3 repetitions of, let's say, 15 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. And then you relax. And then you come back and do 15. And then the third round, you do 3 series. If you do more than 3 series, you're going to damage that. So more is worse. Now you don't do these repetitions every day, thinking that it adds, like, you take 3 repetitions plus 3 repetitions, next day is going to be 6 repetitions, plus for Monday 3 repetitions, Tuesday 3 repetitions, makes 6, Wednesday 3 repetitions, so it grows like that. The muscles, we are not like that. It's after a while the muscle will learn and will stagnate. Right? Or you damage it if you try more. Therefore, you try to, after 3 series, let's say you do 3 days in a row, okay, biceps, then you don't do biceps, you wait about 5 days. So the muscle is like, what's going on here? And in the meantime, you do some chest press, or you do some pull-ups, or not pull-ups because you're going to use the biceps, but do something for a different, like back, off the back, or maybe shoulders, you do shoulders. The same, no more than 3 series, let's say 3 times a week, 3 times, and then you wait, and then you come back. You can do every day biceps, and you expect to grow. It's not, because the muscle, our physiology, is going to peak and it's going to stay there. It's going to go even lower. You're going to lose body mass. So the result is not working that way. So more is worse than, less. Do less. The same thing with training. I'm going to give you another example. Let's say you do gymnastics, and when you do gymnastics, you do by repetition, like any other sport when it involves, doing forms. But doing more, the brain has an ability to teach the body, to memorize. Like try to memorize, let's say, a poem. Another example, you memorize a poem. If you work 10 hours to memorize a poem, after an hour, the other 7 hours are zero. You're gonna work on repetition, you're gonna try to memorize it, but those 7 hours, your brain would reject it because it's saturated. So that's why these guys say 6 months, because in 6 months you allow the brain and the body to coordinate and being able to memorize at a certain pace that will allow the brain to memorize efficiently, and provide the speed of action, of reaction. Pak, book, click, clock, cuckoo, davai, click. You can't speed the process up. That's what I mean. You cannot. So when these guys are telling us, idiots that we are, that they did in 6 weeks, 1 month and a half, something that is required 6 months. I don't believe that shit. Even those guys were the best of the best. The best of the best. And I guarantee you they were. They have physiological limitations, mental and physical. So that, therefore, for me, plus what McGregor said, former, as I said, retired Colonel Douglas McGregor, makes sense. There's no way. He also said, I don't think those are operated by Ukrainians, because you need people that really react like second nature. Is the language that's gonna be impaired? Is the new system they have to work? Plus the maneuver. So there's at least three things. First, the language. Second, the writing. The Ukrainians are doing Cyrillic alphabet. Not our way of reading or writing. It's different. I mean, it's like you go over there and try to learn their way of spelling. Their, Cyrillic alphabet. It's going to take you a while. You're going to waste time with that on top of everything else. Then he has to learn English. Fluent English, again, is the same barrier of time. You can't memorize things above a certain kind of hour. It's like a glass that you pour in it. Once you pour more, you can pour, but it's going to go out. That's the bottom. That's the limit. The same here. So they have the writing, because they have to read in different kind of alphabet. Second is the English language, because everything over there is not in Ukrainian. It's going to be in English. The second. Third was going to be the software. The software have to understand what's that for. They go into that program, that little thing opens, that's what you need to do. So that is the whole training. But they have to do at least 2 more trainings before they start the training. So it's going to be more than 6 months necessary, because they need to learn the language, even though they knew kind of the language, right? To get 70 people to be fluent in English in the army, not impossible, but I think it's very unlikely. And then also you need the Cyrillic, spelling, the alphabet. So you got Cyrillic language plus the training itself. You need at least 6 months. Now, I don't know when these guys started, but the idiots tell us how great. Why? They try to disperse our skepticism. Instead of dispersing it with 6 weeks shit, they got deeper in shit for me. It's like you should have kept your mouth shut, so we cannot catch you. Right now, I said 6 weeks, impossible. For the reason I just mentioned. Or not impossible, 99% certain that was not done. Clear. But if they would not have mentioned 6 weeks, right now I couldn't have said, well, that's a lie, or most likely it's a lie, 99%, because they didn't say how long. So maybe it was 7 months, or maybe 9 months, but they mention it to try to disperse this. But they deal with imbeciles like me, who ask questions and who know certain things. You can't force teaching. Can't. All right, my friends. The new battery or batteries that will be delivered, again, I suspect 98% they will not operated by Ukrainians. I would say 99% not operated by Ukrainians. Now it's going to be the Germans, it's going to be the Poles, it's going to be the Americans. I don't really care. That's what I think. It's not going to be operated. And they're going to deliver it probably next year when the war is going to be over, or Zelensky is going to be kaput by Zaluzny. Or the Americans going to say, get the fuck out. He's going to say, niet. And before he says tiu from niet, the guys around him are going to just get him and send him to Moses. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.